Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and that means you're tuned into another episode of the Sleeping Giants Gamecast. No nonsense. Let's get into it.
Going in live now, bitches.
Sweet.
There you go. What's up, people? Who's bringing us in today? Even though Kyle technically already brought us in.
I did.
It's going now. Why do I hear it going now? It was like,
The
let's
stream.
get into it. What's up, guys? Right over top.
It should be done now, yeah? It's not going
Yeah, it's
anymore,
done
is
now.
it?
But I think you talked over it.
You did.
The stream's probably delayed, right? So I technically didn't.
Whatever
we'll
the
find
case
out.
may be. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, Kyle.
Welcome, human beings other
Human
than
beings
Kyle. You already got
Other
a
than
welcome.
Kyle.
Well,
What's up? Let's crack it open, boys. What's going on today with you guys?
Nothing much.
much?
Just
Much,
got
not enough?
just got back from the works.
I am.
Wait, work or the Works Burger Place, which doesn't exist in our town?
No. Like actual work.
We have something to settle right here now. Why do Ontarians call all dressed pizza the works?
I've never heard of that.
I honestly, I've never heard of it either.
Although I don't use the word all dressed for that either.
What do
I
you
use
guys?
all dressed.
I
What do
always
you-
heard it as like deluxe.
What do you guys? Well, deluxe or the works usually is what they call it. Well, what do you guys call a Quebecois
Deluxe.
pizza then?
A
I don't
a
know.
what?
It's a Canadian, I believe.
Oh yeah. That's probably
Like
right.
mushroom,
Canadian feast.
pepperoni bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys call that a Quebecois?
Well, yes,
Of
because
course.
it's Quebec, and if they called it Le Canadien, no one would buy it, and people everywhere would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's like an issue of ownership or something. It's like either it belongs to you or it belongs to the nation as a whole.
It's like there are some things in other provinces that are in red packaging with a maple leaf on them, and then in Quebec they're blue with a fleur de lis on them, because if they don't do that, they won't sell.
All I can say is if y'all didn't buy a pizza that was delicious because it was called a Canadien, y'all got problems. Okay. That's
Yes,
all I can say.
we know we have problems. We're well aware of those problems.
Yeah, I know
We-
you guys aren't like you guys aren't dyed in the wool. Like
we definitely have
archers,
problems. Yeah.
yeah. It's like y'all are in this landmass. I mean, it's fucking pizza. So what's been going on, guys? What you been up to?
I mean, me personally, I didn't just get back from work, so I've on my second day of vacation,
Mhm.
of staycation because COVID, and the wife is working,
Mhm.
so just doing a little housework, setting up my computer stuff, as you're well aware.
Mhm.
Tomorrow I plan to do more housework, cut the grass, but otherwise,
You said you got you said you got all your shit set up now. The picture you dropped in our private chats was pretty nice.
yeah, it should be all set up now. I got my, well, you guys can't see it. You can only see it on stream, but I have my DSLR set up for the streaming.
Nice.
And in Discord right now, you're just seeing this little cam down here, which I will probably become my dice cam for our D&D stream. And it's also going to be the one that I'll pull over to my actual sofa, because I got nice long USB extension cables. So this mic you see here and this camera that you guys are looking through is going to go over there, and got my capture card set up. We're all good to go. The only thing not working that I can't figure out for the life of me is my second monitor, which would be great for my workflow because I have so many fucking things going on at once. But
right, so that way you can parcel that shit out a bit more.
yeah,
Right.
can't figure it out yet though. So, and I tried. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I saw the Asus support or whatever. They have like an online chat, like most of these people do.
Yeah.
But right now, because of COVID, that whole system is like shut down. So it's like, ooh, you can open up a ticket and somebody might send you an email with an answer.
Have you not done extend displays in like the monitors, like the display options?
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is that the second monitor just doesn't show up. You when you go into Windows 10, you actually have detect monitor, and the second one is just doesn't show up. I tried like the obvious, going to Acer website and downloading the drivers. I tried upgrading my graphics card. It's apparently already as up to date as it can be.
You should ask. Ask Cash. He's got a 2 monitor setup. See how he did it.
It should be simple. Like I see the option to set it and then do all your things. It's like it doesn't detect my monitor. I tried different cables. I tried hooking it up HDMI. It just won't recognize the second monitor at all, which I hear is a problem. But anyway, enough about me. What about you, Alex? What have you been up to?
I just was playing some just dropped on Xbox Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. It's like a well-reviewed tactical strategy game on PC that just dropped on Switch and Xbox last night. I was just playing that. It's fucking awesome. It's very interesting, actually. I think it might be one of the better Warhammer properties I've seen in a while. And
Brother.
part of it is because the writing is interesting and good. Like, it's essentially, to to lay it really quickly, it's essentially there's a sect of human people who are interfaced with machines, and that is Adeptus Mechanicus, and their job is to go across the galaxy trying to find histories of old humanity, like technologies we used to know and shit before everything went to hell, which I think is an interesting theory, like an interesting idea. And in this game, what happens is you come across like a tomb world of the Necrons, which are like a robotic, Egyptian-inspired hostile entity. And so you're setting up, like, you're completing handcrafted missions. Like, it's not RNG. I mean, it's not. It's not procedural at all. It's just handcrafted missions, and you have like a squad of guys and da da da. But the writing is cool. Like, you've got 4 or 5 like speaking heroes, and one guy's always quoting scripture from Warhammer 40,000, like, "Suffer not the alien to live; he must be burned to ash." So
Burn
like
in
section
holy
6182, like, it's just so savage. And if you're like me and you were like 13 and you grew up with Warhammer 40k, you kind of sit there and you're like, man, this is like one of the first times they actually got this shit to be cool as fuck. Even
Well,
though it's only in text.
I was actually telling Alex about this. Like, he digs this game, and I said there's a Warhammer 40k game that I wish was on Xbox that we could play together. It's called Deathwing, and you're this Deathwing squad of the Space Marines, and you can play it like
That's the co-op game, right?
Yeah, it's a 4-player co-op game. You can play single player, but you're just playing as the librarian, and it's really hard to play because it's like super horde based. But you can play as other Space Marines in the other versions and stuff, and it's
Sorry, did you say what kind of genre it was? I
It's
missed
a
it.
turn-based tactical strategy, which is interesting.
It's like in the vein of
It's like XCOM. It's like XCOM.
Okay.
But in 40k and different in some ways, of course. But
So what you're saying is it's a lot
It's
like Planetfall then.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I'm saying it's like Civilization 6. Like, basically, Sid Meier was like in the room like at the same time, and he was like, "Yo, guys, I got some ideas for your Adeptus Mechanicus game." No, but the one thing I did just want to say is, it's so rare because you have to understand 40k is like, imagine a bunch of metalheads made like an anime that was just over the top as fuck evil and savage and heavy metal as fuck sci-fi, and that's 40k basically. Everything is sci-fi and fucking savage. There's skulls everywhere. Everything's crazy.
You had me at heavy metal.
Well, yeah, it's basically like a heavy metal space kid's dream. This, especially if you're like a Space Marine or Chaos Space Marine fan. But anyway, what I wanted to say was the writing is so good that I actually laughed. So in the vein of this being super evil, grim, dark, horrible, I actually laughed because it was like, the dude was like, I am frustrated by your conversation, but I choose to experience it. That is an allotment allowed to me as a former human being. I'm frustrated, but I choose to experience it. Or it's like I feel sadness for the loss of our comrades. However, I quarantine this as unusable data. I'm just like, it's just like they really went for it. That's all I want to say is they really fucking went for that shit. I can appreciate that.
Do you know how long it is, or like in XCOM vein, can you make your own squad and customize your guys?
You customize your own squad, yeah. Like in this case, And it literally says, it doesn't say equip, it says plug in. Like you're literally plugging in different robot arms to dudes that you unlock as you go. But the game said 50 missions, 50 handcrafted missions, which is interesting. So I'm not sure how long that'll take. But there's also like, you know how in XCOM there's like the Doom tracker, like if you lose a certain amount of cities, you lose kind of deal. Well, in this, there's like the Necron tombs are opening, and if it gets to 100%, we must leave the planet because there's no way you can stop them. So it's the same concept, right? So you've got the missions, but you've got an overarching like enemy goal, plus you've got like decisions to make. But what's interesting too, like versus XCOM, this is the last thing I'll say about it because I know I'm going on. But versus XCOM, in this you're like walking through a machine, like almost like a digitalized map first, and then when you encounter something, it's like a text-based pop-up where it's like, you notice a tomb, blah blah blah. What do you choose to do? And it's text-based, like this, or this, and then something happens where it's like a battle or you find gear. So there's like a weird, different text-based element, like adventure game element, on top of an XCOM battle system, kind of, with upgrades and all that stuff. So,
they're multiplayer.
No, it's purely single player. But it's cool.
Permadeath.
Yeah, that's an option. Enable permadeath, and I clicked it. And it's like achievement available, and then I clicked Iron Man. It said achievement available, and I was like, okay, maybe not Iron Man right now. Maybe not Iron Man right now.
Nah, learn how to use the game, how to play the game first before.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going on forever. There's a couple more things I could say, but I won't because.
How about Derek? What's Derek up to this week? What has he been up to?
Games. The usual.
What have you been playing?
Sorry, I'm just finishing a note up here. Lots more State of Decay 2.
Hey.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey.
Final Dread Zone run, and then it'll be the final Nightmare run, which should be hopefully terrifying and extremely challenging. The plan is to finish off all the maps, which should be interesting, and as well as survive the remainder of the days that I have left. So roughly, probably about 80.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna do the 100 days one on the first go through, or like the last map of the maps?
Well, going through, because each map has limited resources, right? So it's also going to be about figuring out how long a map is sustainable for a Nightmare playthrough, right? I mean, if it's really hard and you're burning up ammo just trying to survive, it should be interesting. I'm excited to see how Nightmare plays out in that sense, right? Because you can rush through and maybe kill all the plague hearts at the very beginning and then decide, okay, I need to survive minimum of 15 days in this map.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that when you transfer map, everything comes with you except your vehicles.
That's what I'm assuming too, yeah.
I think it's everything in your inventory hops over with you. So I think it's just a matter of exactly figuring out how long each base is sustainable for once you've cleared the map of resources. Right. And I think that's going to be a very interesting aspect too, is once you actually get in there is as we've seen, Alex and I too mostly is when we've left maps in dread zones and completed the campaign, there's still a lot of stuff that's not looted.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it gets to a point where you don't need those that random shed out in the distance, the small grouping of houses, the trailers, whatever. But I think in Nightmare, if it's as hard as
I'm led to believe.
Yeah, exactly. If it's as hard as we're led to believe, then hopefully it makes it so that every one of those things is essential to loot for your continued survival.
Yeah, and in case I actually just want to get your opinion on this, Derek. So I was thinking I'm gonna start streaming that when I get to Nightmare. So I'm just gonna go. I wonder what your thought on this particular morsel is. I was gonna call it the State of Decay Nightmare 100-day challenge, and just be like day 1, and then wherever I started, the next stream would be like day 5, day 10, or whatever. You think it would fly? You think I should fly with a title like that, 100-day challenge?
I was thinking of something similar when I actually get there, because right now whenever I do the Dread playthroughs, I just title it State of Decay because it's Dread. It's gotten ridiculously easy.
Yeah, Dread Zone is super easy now. Yeah. Although I've been in some shit situations.
Oh yeah, well yeah, same. We all have. We've all had those shit situations where we've lost people, almost lost people. But in the end, now it's no longer like, oh no, it's not like, oh shit, there's a Juggy. It's, oh, a Juggernaut. Let's go kill it. I'm excited to see what Nightmare brings. Like again, I want to. I could research it, but at the same time, I don't want to ruin the surprise because part of me sits here and like, okay, well, a max infestation in Dread is 3 screamers and 10 zombies.
Yep.
Like, what will the infestation in Nightmare be like?
1 Juggernaut.
Like, I'm excited to see if that changes. Like, I want to know if it's going to be just 1 feral running down the road or if there's going to be 3 of them.
Right.
Like, it's just part of the excitement of seeing what Nightmare is going to offer. Well, if it doesn't offer that, I'll be a bit disappointed. But it's still a great game.
Yeah.
Even the picture itself, when you're looking at difficulties, is 2 Juggernauts running at your guy, right?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
A State of Decay question for you boys. I might as well pose this, see what you think. Green Zone that they just introduced. What do you boys think of it?
I know you were saying in private that you want to go check it out and see how podunk that shit is.
Yeah.
For me, it's like lol. Like, I can't even imagine playing on normal now because Dread Zone's easy. You know what I mean?
So, no, like, yeah, I can't do normal.
It would be like preschool zombie apocalypse on Green Zone, and so I just feel like it's pointless. And if anyone gave any effort, they would find that normal is easy enough, and it's not.
Yeah.
Stressful.
I was gonna say the game in itself isn't very hard anyway.
Right.
And like even on Nightmare, I assume it's not going to be
like I'd say
ridiculous. I'm sure it's going to be feasible.
I'd say Dread Zone is like medium to hard.
You don't want to. I didn't find it that hard. I think it's like the Juggernaut's supposed to be like fighting a Juggy is supposed to be a difficult thing to take. It's not supposed to be like a 1 tap and he's done. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And other than that, like, unless you get overrun, and even then you can handle them pretty well, giant groups, even when you're by yourself. So I really think like on Dread Zone right now,
play it more, and you might have a different opinion. It gets fucking hairy.
I played it tons with you guys. I had played tons. You guys have played way more than me.
It gets hairy.
It does.
Yeah, but that's like zombie apocalypse game. But I mean, like in general, it's not like. I took out 2 Juggies with Alex, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
with giant hordes. And I'm not saying it was easy. It wasn't easy, but we didn't die in the process either, so.
Like here's my thing too. It's like when you look at the scope of State of Decay in an initial playthrough, all we're talking about is 2 like 1 main quest line, a bunch of quest lines it tries to distract you with, and then what is it, 6 play cards? 7 play cards? And that's it.
Can be more.
Once you do that, it's done. No, it can't be more. It's always 7, I think. At least from what I've seen. And that's it. That's the scope of a campaign, right? So to make it more like interesting, what Derek and I decided to do, because we're going for mass amount of achievements, like we want to get all of them because we're stupid. I don't know why we decided this, but okay. But anyway, we decided like, okay, let's role play it. So we're gonna do one of each character type, and then we're gonna take our first group of people into Nightmare will be 3 of the 4 leaders that we previously used. So, and then we're going to take all 3 leaders, and if they die, that's going to be like the best of your guys you had, right?
And man, Sean,
dead. So,
when we jumped into Derek's game and his one leader, or soon to be leader, I don't know if you're going to make him a leader or not, Derek, but is a sociopath.
Oh, fuck. He totally was. I've never seen anything like that.
He's like, we got to run this guy down. We got to run him down. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He had a mission to go run down zombies as a mission. Like,
that is something, that is kind of something cool about State of Decay, though, is how you almost have endless options of NPCs. And you might just get that one who is like really cool at some point. It's all, it kind of like, I know it's an entirely different thing, but it's kind of unique, like the Nemesis system was.
In
a way, like how it generates the. I find that a lot of them look alike. However, like the actual character generation is trash, but like the stats that they have and their voice acting and like how they might act differently is really quite impressive.
And then you get characters like Leland and you see him get the blood plague and consider euthanizing him, but then you,
How
you
hated
decide
guy Leland in
I'll
this
save
world.
him.
I will add too, like, for example, one of the weirdest characters I've gotten, I've never seen it duplicated as far as I'm aware in my runs. She had the stat doomed and had 60 HP. It said this person knows they're going to die, just a matter of when. And then she's also former billionaire. So there's like this theory, like this was all randomly rolled, but it's like, wow. So I have this former billionaire who literally doesn't even know how to like take care of themselves at all. They're
Well, would a
guaranteed to
billionaire know how to take
it
care
and
of
die.
themselves?
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like it put it together in a way that was like cool,
Yeah.
but it's not. They're not guaranteed to end up together like that. Like she could have been a doomed basketball coach. You know what I mean? Like, but now it's a doomed billionaire, former billionaire, and she's like, back when money used to mean something. And I was like, wow, she just wants to die. Like she just wants to commit suicide, this bitch. But like, you know what I mean? So it's like that's interesting, and that to me is like storylineable. And just one last little tidbit: the reason we're talking about the 100-day challenge is there is a achievement to survive 100 days in Nightmare of Dread. So that's what we're talking about when we say the 100-day challenge.
That's true. Yeah.
I
That does need to be explained.
It's awesome.
So I'm just installing Ghost of Tsushima as well, as far as like stuff that's being played and things.
Are you gonna stream that or?
I will. Yeah, I think so. Twitch and PlayStation. I've had some errors when I've done some things recently. They have like there's been a couple errors, and I gotta.
Are they errors or are they newer games that Twitch and PlayStation are blocking for X amount of time?
No, because the one I was playing was Our World Is Ended, and then I'd say I was close to finishing a chapter, and then it was like broadcast stopped, and it was just it gave me a CE 343 error or whatever it was, and I looked it up, and it was like something to do with Twitch not broadcasting properly anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna tweet at Twitch support. Hopefully they get back to me. They still have not, so we'll see.
If it's anything like my Aces support, they might that whole branch might be closed down, or we're having a skeleton crew at the moment.
Gentlemen, if it's no skin off your various appendages, it's time for a quick cue round. Are you guys ready for a quick cue round?
Indeed.
Is it
Fire.
okay to jump in right now with one of those, or too early?
Ready?
Yeah. Let's we'll
rapid fire.
Do some quick cues and we'll see what comes of it.
Okay, we are randomizing. Okay, guys, I will call on Kyle first, just because.
Okay.
If you can't think of one, then I'll go. Okay, the question that landed was, if you could be the creative director or program lead or jefe of all jefes for one game, past or present, what would it be and why?
I'd have to say the Mass Effect franchise. Because whether it was to be Casey Hudson was the head of the thing, and I know that, but still, like, whether I was working beside him or with him or above him, just to have be associated with that franchise, to have your name as kind of like etched in that legacy. Mm-hmm. And I'm even one to say that Andromeda was not good in any way. Andromeda was okay, it was fine, but the main trilogy is up there for me with the top, so that would definitely be where I'd like to be.
Can I ask a little wrinkle quickly, or do you have something, Sean?
I was gonna ask Kyle a wrinkle on that. Just sure. His question was, I understood it more as, don't add your name to the success. Is that
you
if
are
there was something, the
lead, yeah.
You are the lead. So in that note, I guess it's rapid fire, but I was gonna say, is there something that you would have done better with?
That's what I was gonna ask.
So what is there something I would have done better? Yeah. I wouldn't have left BioWare, and I would have kept the franchise going. I would have taken. I would have. I would see they needed to. I would have taken over the Andromeda thing.
But wait. Let's say but you said Mass Effect trilogy, so let's truncate it for a sec. Is there anything like those answers you gave are not invalid by any means? They're interesting. But in the scope of the question, would you change anything about the trilogy itself as project lead?
I am not a person that hated the third ending, but they needed to release the whole thing, the DLC ending that they gave, right away. They needed to do that right away, and that was it. I'd say.
Okay, so you wouldn't have shipped that ending if you had to say over.
Not the initial one, just the DLC expanded ending. I would have done that right away.
Okay. Let's go down my line here, which to me is Sean next. Sean, what do you got? If you could be the program lead of any game past or present, why, what, and why? I know what you're gonna say. I think
Halo.
I was gonna say Halo 5.
Halo 5?
Halo 5.
First I thought Fable.
So you you would have nuked it right at the beginning.
You're going for a swim? Okay, have fun. Don't drown. Halo. Load up the podcast on your phone, babe. Twitch.tv/TSG Big Time. Do it. Love you.
She didn't know your username. Oh, I'm glad you said that.
So anyway, Halo 5 for sure. I mean, there's Fable's a good one because I also think I love that franchise. It's very near and dear to my heart, and that's not, and it was not without its issues itself. But I think Halo is the better choice because next to Fable, the most near and dear to my heart is Halo. 1 through 3, I loved the story. I can still play it today, and I love the story. I don't care what the graphics are. I love the story. I love that universe that was created, and I honestly, truly believe that world is well fleshed out enough to rival that of Star Wars, in just how big the universe is. They've never gone that way, but I do believe through the books and the lore and the races and the factions and all that shit, it is big enough to rival that of Star Wars. However, 1 through 3, I love the story. Halo Reach was the start for me of a bad sign. Like, I played a lot of Halo Reach with Eric. I obviously beat the campaign on Legendary solo, and it was a little. I don't know if you read The Fall of Reach. I know Derek's read The Fall of Reach.
I've read parts of it.
That game does not do that book justice. That game does not do The Fall of Reach justice in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad game. I didn't not enjoy the story, but I read The Fall of Reach before playing Reach. I expected something way more like emotionally impactful, like losing everything, and that just it wasn't there as much as it should have been, I think.
So,
go ahead.
Sean, so does that mean that you would take over 343 and then take their direction? So Reach 4 and 5?
That's where I'm getting at, yeah, because Reach, I believe, was Bungie's last Halo game, and they were actually handing off the torch halfway through development to 343.
Yeah.
I really think that 343 has a lot of talent, but zero direction, and I do believe that they need to be set back on course, and they have no choice now with Halo 6 around the corner. I don't think Microsoft or 343 can afford to have that not be good.
They can't.
I liked Halo 4's campaign, but it had some issues too. But I liked the campaign. It was very emotional. I hated the multiplayer. Halo 5, I did not like this new aesthetic that looked. I did not find the multiplayer fun myself. Even though it's very popular, it's the most popular Halo multiplayer to date, and it's still played massively. It seems weird, but I can get around that. But to me, what turned me off was the story. Halo 5 was the first Halo I did not buy at launch, and still have not bought. I got it on Game Pass, a year after the game launched?
Yeah.
I decided to play it through Legendary solo. It took me, I think, a year after that to get through it all. I finally did it, and I left feeling empty. Like, I'm not going to get into it here and now, but I was empty. It was a fucking mess. And if anyone disagrees, you're not a Halo fan.
Can you do me one favor? And you may not be capable of doing this, but like in a very small output, can you tell me what the fuck was so empty about the story? Like, what left you so empty? Like, you could spoil it for me. I don't give a shit.
It was a mess. Like, they took characters that you love and made them do things they wouldn't typically do.
Oh fuck.
The story had no real direct. It was almost like they had this really cool idea for a good story, but then couldn't pen it down on paper properly. You know, you're like, oh, I have all these ideas for my novel. You spend 5 years writing your novel, and you realize maybe there's too many ideas in here. It goes too many ways, and you can't tie it in together at all in a sensical fashion. I think it does a lot of injustice to the stories already told in the Halo universe. There's a lot of things that just go against canon in that sense.
Okay.
And as far as that goes, it's like the actual and on top of that, because you don't care, to me the set pieces and the maps and the graphical style they took with it does not help their scenario in any way, shape, or form. And I do also believe the trailers and the teasers leading up to it misled us as well, as to what the game was supposed to be about. There was a lot of these talk about, oh, okay, well, Master Chief is like a rogue agent now, and you're gonna play as Locke, and you're gonna be because he's a rogue agent. Master Chief went against what he was being asked to do, which is in the game. You are basically you're a double agent now, right? Now they're coming after you, so you're oh, I'm gonna be Locke, and I'm gonna and go after him with this new set of Spartans, and it's gonna be really impactful and emotional.
Yeah,
because
it
sounds cool as fuck, but they don't do that. It doesn't carry across, and it doesn't carry across at all. They didn't do shit. Basically, that's the first mission. The first mission is like that, and I think when you finally meet, this is the biggest kick in the ass. Okay, spoiler ahead. When you finally fucking meet, when you finally catch up to him, I think it ends with a pistol whip to the face, and then they're friends, and they decide to go at it together. That's just how it went. It could have been so much more politically powerful, emotionally powerful, and they didn't do any of it.
Master Chief, the guy you felt all fandom has fell in love with, you're something or you have to chase him down and he's doing something better and you're still hot on his trail the entire game or something, and you're wondering about your own moral compass as Locke or something. You know what I mean?
A lot of people, they say, oh, it's because we should never have played a Locke. That part doesn't bother me so much. I don't mind. The voice actor, I forget what his name is, but the guy who plays Luke Cage, he's an amazing voice actor, and I think he plays an amazing Spartan. And I like his new I forget what, Mark 6 or Mark 7. I'm not sure what Mjolnir they're wearing, but none of that is the problem. It's just how they portray it. It's very bad, very sloppy storytelling. Like I said, you have this emotional, honestly, going into this, you have this emotional attachment. If you've played Halo 1 through 4, you have an emotional attachment to Cortana and Chief. Right. And knowing that Chief has become almost like this Han Solo, not even Han Solo, I don't know how to explain it, but a double agent, basically.
Like a rebel,
he's not bad. He's doing what he believes is right. And you, as a player who, if you've loved Cortana and Chief all this time, understand why he's doing what he's doing. And you're maybe there's a fucking problem with the system they have in place. And there's these questions that they raise, but that was it. They're never answered. They're never fleshed out. And it's giving me goosebumps talking about it, but the game is trash.
That's what I'm gonna say. It sounds like the sickest book ever. Overall, this could be as big as Game of Thrones or some shit. If it was done. As you said, Star Wars. That's a hot take. It sounds like this world could be as big as Star Wars. That's a hot take as fuck, but that'd be awesome. That'd be cool, and you might be right.
I'm just going to interject with that for a second. And if anyone was watching this would probably cause a lot of shit and controversy and crap opinions of me and maybe us if we agree. But the Halo universe is a lot more fleshed out than the Star Wars universe was when it started.
It is.
Canonically, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, the Halo universe has the building blocks to, if done right, be propelled in the direction of immediate greatness. There are no major plot holes. There are no, even compared to Star Trek, there's no bullshit numbers. Yeah, it's sci-fi, so there's always that bit of bullshit to it.
Right.
But there's no sitting around and having to wonder and having hundreds of thousands of people sit around and trying to calculate, oh, wait, what's warp? Wait, why is warp 3 so different from warp 6? Or wait, isn't a parsec a unit of distance and not speed and blah, blah, blah? The Halo universe is solid.
Right.
They set it up solidly, and it could be great as movies, as television. It's great as books.
What's that one? What's that one movie? Not movie. It was like they did a live action thing. What was that?
I can't remember what that.
I
one
can't
was
remember
called.
what it was. That was good.
There was
From, like,
two.
Fox TV,
There
right?
was there
Back in
was
the day.
two. There was two, I believe. There was the fall. Not the Pillar of. Oh my God! I was gonna say Pillar of Autumn.
No, it was.
It was something. Wasn't there Forward Unto Dawn? Is one
Forward
of them?
Unto Dawn. That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was Dawn something, but
Yeah.
I said Pillar of Dawn.
And there was another one
Heroes.
too, though.
Well, the
There
other
was
one was
another one, I
Halo
think, too.
Legends, and that was that animated.
No, there's the
version.
anime, but there was another one too. There was like there was a small web series, and there was another.
Oh
like-
yeah, I remember the web series. I don't remember its name.
I'm looking it up right now. But go ahead, keep going.
But they were both good. Like they were like you can tell they're low budget and all that, but they were both very good, and I enjoyed them. And it makes you shows you how a Halo movie or TV show could potentially be good if they had
Yeah.
the proper budget.
It was Forward Unto Dawn is a mini series.
Oh, okay, so they
That's
turned
right.
that into just
When
a
I
movie.
search web
thing.
series Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn comes up. 5 episodes.
And fun fact, who's the guy? Who's the guy who plays Chief? Is it the? Isn't it the guy from X-Men?
What?
The guy who plays Master Chief, who plays John.
Um.
X-Men. That
Isn't
narrows it down. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
From
yeah.
First
Like,
Class.
like-
It's not the. I don't remember his name.
In
Figure,
in
something.
what? Forward Unto Dawn,
Magneto.
Yeah,
or
it's
just
Forward
in
Unto Dawn.
general? Forward Unto Dawn?
I'll look it up. Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh damn!
It is Michael Fassbender. Yeah,
I just put that on
Is
my
it?
app. Really?
Holy shit!
it's Magneto. Yeah,
Yeah, that's Michael Fassbender.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
and he
Okay.
loved the role. Yeah,
So let me throw a little. I know this was the quick cue, but this is the beauty of the quick cue, right? Is it spawns a line of discussion. So forgetting that we're still waiting on 2 replies there, I just have another question. Do you think? Okay, the question is Halo's success as a entity requiring of the first person genre? And if not, what would happen if you give Halo like a remake or restart, reboot it, give it to Naughty Dog, and do a third person character action game as Chief, and just let them do it? Do you think that they would blow everyone away with a 10 out of 10?
I think
Or
they
is
could.
it so ingrained into Halo that it needs to be FPS? It needs to be like, you know what I mean? It needs to be multiplayer. It needs to have all that shit.
I
too?
don't think it can be a tactical shooter. Personally, that doesn't mean that
Okay,
those
so like a
elements
straight-
can't be in there. But there's a certain flow and finesse and like Halo was like Crisis before Crisis was out, you know what I mean? Like with the low grav, high jumps, flipping
Mhm.
over warthogs and stuff.
Crisis was out already, wasn't it?
Nah.
They didn't have multiplayer in Crisis 1.
Oh no, they did. In
I'm
Crisis
talking
1, no,
like-
they didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, okay.
So it could have those elements, but I don't think you can have like the same shooting mechanics as Uncharted or even The Last of Us and expect fans of the series to be happy necessarily.
Right.
Because multiplayer is a huge component of that, right? That made it successful.
Right, but let's actually. I think you're right, but let's actually try and divorce it from. Is it just The Last of Us with a Halo skin? What if it was just a story with no multiplayer and it was character driven? Like, is that something Halo could be? I guess is what I want to know. No multiplayer, no, because that's so much effort goes into that, right?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be for sure, but I do think playing at least co-op is also a big thing of the Halo series.
Okay.
So I think definitely, like I said, I didn't buy Halo 5, and I didn't play the multiplayer. I only played the campaign, and I played it solo. So in the vein of that, yes, it totally could be.
Okay. Fair enough.
Derek's
Now, would
turn.
they do a better job? Or would it just be a bastardization? Like, would they do a better job?
I personally think if somebody who does storytelling well could easily do a better job.
Okay. Because it seems like your problem is definitely story, right? Because you've played. But what was it that you didn't find fun about the multiplayer? Because that you saying that suggests also that there was something wrong with the game at large, and not just.
I think it was just As such a big fan of the franchise, when they shit all over the story and the characters mean nothing to you, I know that multiplayer is unlinked to it, but I've always been Halo Universe before Halo multiplayer. And even if for the next 20 years I don't play another Halo game, the story is still near and dear to my heart. And I still have the books and this and that. So I can live without the multiplayer. I can go play another game.
Cool.
It's not that it was bad. Like I said, it's a lot of people's favorite. It just wasn't what I wanted. Like, because people keep trying, they need to learn. Like, Halo does have to, it's a very tough place, but Halo needs to be revolutionized, but also cannot be Call of Duty and cannot be Siege. It has to be its own thing. Halo pioneered and spawned so much that those shooters have, like, a lot of things we have nowadays created because of Halo. Matchmaking didn't fucking exist until Halo 2. It was built into the goddamn game on consoles, okay? I'm saying consoles, just to be clear here. So, yeah, it's nuts. So, to see them, they seem really hard trying to keep their identity. They're struggling really hard to keep their identity and also become something relevant. And personally, I didn't like the art style. Like, the art style was, to me, was really weird. Like, I don't know.
And Derek, I saw that when Sean mentioned Halo 5, and there's tons of things because you're a Halo guy too, right? If I'm not mistaken. But there was things you like pointed, like, yeah, hit the nail on the head. Did you have anything?
No, there's not much more to add. I mean, Sean basically, like, he hit all the points that I think a lot of fans would agree on. A story that, like he says, is a mess. They try to, in my opinion, too, they tried to pack way too much into it, to the point where you also don't have time to develop the familiarity with characters that you would in other ones. Kind of just all came out of everywhere. Like, I had played it too, and I've played it twice. Played it with a buddy, legendary co-op. Played it on my own. I think just heroic. I wanted a refresher, and to this day, I can't remember a single thing about the story. I can remember certain parts that irritated me. I can remember certain enemies that irritated me. Can't remember what they're called. It was just nothing with it sank like previous Halo campaigns.
So it wasn't like elites and jackals and grunts that even I remember. There's non-Halo.
Yeah, no, like I can't think of I can't think of a name of a single enemy unit. Maybe a knight, but other than that, there wasn't much that stuck.
Damn.
It's well, yeah, and it's disappointing because they created a great thing, and these memorable enemies, elites, fucking hunters, which all these amazing concepts, hunters, colonies of worm-like things that form together, and you're like, oh, that's sick. And then the new enemies introduced in like Halo 5, you're kind of they're lackluster, like they're not memorable. So no, Sean hit basically all the points that, like I said, a lot of people I'm sure would agree on.
I just want to add too that Halo 1, when the flood drops, like mid to late campaign, I guess, and then you see Keys in the fucking, like, his pixelated face in the freaking fucking cube of floodness, and he's like, and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck, he's fucked up. I remember being so fucking blown away by that. I remember being so blown away by his just like grimacing flood face, just. And he's like,
my favorite thing, Alex, bringing up that point, is play Halo CE and switch the graphics when you get to that scene. It's ridiculous. It's just
I played it, bro. It's the shitty graphics.
Oh yeah, no. If you watch it, like the switch is just massive. It's
yeah, but anyway, so Halo 6 is right around the corner, right? We're gonna see some probably about 10 minutes of gameplay in the Xbox showcase. Apparently, yeah. So I'm very skeptical, but I have high hopes because they are trying to reinvent the series, which is probably going to make like the last two games like non-canon. But if that's what they need to do to bring it back, that's what they got to do, right?
It's like Last Jedi or whatever, when everyone's like, Luke would never do this. There's a whole debate about that shit, right? And it's something that you said earlier. They make characters do things they'd never do, you said. That seems to be one of the death knells of storytelling everywhere.
How about you, Derek? I know you went, what's your rapid fire? Well, not your rapid fire, but that same question Alex asked for you.
Yeah.
It's a Toss up. All right, if you guys had to guess, what do you think I'm thinking right now?
I would say you pick Siege.
Yeah, that's the one. It was actually a toss up between. It's actually 2 Tom Clancy games.
Okay.
Splinter Cell series
Oh.
or Siege.
Okay.
And Siege is the choice. Look,
Talk about it.
I've been giving this thought for a while, because to have a game fall from one of my favorite, I'd probably say maybe even one of my all-time favorites, to like a game that now on nights there are some nights where I don't even feel like picking it up, is disappointing. So the more I think about it, the more it is they're trying to do too much now. They're trying to appease all the fans. They're trying to keep throwing out content left, right, and center. And what does that do? It keeps leaving people disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The most recent House. Boom. They make a new House. It's not in the ranked rotation. All right. This grand plan of, we want 100 operators, dropping 2 new operators every season. It's not working.
No.
Because the operators are just getting out of hand. They're either almost identical copies, or a copy that's better.
Right.
And it starts to kind of leave older operators not necessarily in the dust, but you kind of sit there and be, well, how long is this OG operator going to be viable? Because now they've taken this OG operator, Ash. All right, look, the evolution of Ash, breaching rounds, boom. Who's next? Zofia. Oh, well, she has 2 breaching rounds, basically high impact grenades. Oh, and 2 concussions. Oh, and she can stand herself back up if she gets downed.
Right. Yeah.
Health.
Like, should
So
Ash have that? Even though we don't want that, but like comparatively.
Exactly. So there's this evolution, which you could almost say like a natural evolution of these original characters, which is just kind of making them obsolete. Thermite, and now we have Ace, who's a combination of basically Habana and Thermite.
Thermite, yeah.
He's got his breach. He's got breaching charges. This
smoke made instead of.
Yeah, he's just becoming like the new operators are just becoming overpowered evolutions of older ones.
Yeah, like why would you pick Habana over Ace in most circumstances? I'm wondering.
Yeah, exactly. Like really better gun,
better hole opening too. Like
yeah, exactly. So I think I personally would take it away from that direction and maybe tone down this whole promise on continuing to deliver new operators every season.
Right.
Even stagger it. All right, 1 season, 2 new operators. The next season, a new map. The next season, fucking bug fixes. Even like Operation Health. I did not exist. I did not play Siege during that time. I did not exist.
Did you not play?
No, I didn't. I was not around for Operation Health.
Operation Health was a fucking joke.
But
Operation
it should be something that happens on a regular basis to keep the game functioning as it should.
Yeah.
And if it had to happen once a year, once a season, not once a season, once a year for an entire season, then let it happen. All right. There's too much of constant giving into the demands of the community, which, yes, I understand is what helps the game grow and continue being popular. But at the same time, developers need to step back and realize, look, this is our vision. This is our game. You want it to keep operating as it should. You want it to continue as it should. We need to take the helm back away from you, the community, and do our jobs.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to.
And weirdly, I just want to throw this out here. When you talk about taking it away from the community too, it almost makes you think that the pick and ban phase, for as much as I said that this is amazing, I want this makes it more tactical, more interesting. The thing is, maybe it just makes it worse because you let the people decide what characters they'll basically never see, right? And so the result of that is that the characters get deleted mostly. So what if what if they just left that again to the pros? Would Siege be a better game? I know it's a very microcosm question on a lot of great points you mentioned, but would Siege be a better game if you took some of that control out of the hands of the players and said, look, the operators are there. I'm sorry. Like, deal with it. If they want
Yeah.
to play Echo, they play Echo.
Like, yeah,
fair
poor
cry,
Echo
guys.
never gets to be picked anymore because he always gets
Right.
banned.
So I think the
Jackal.
biggest problem with the ban system now is that Ubi has limited their data pool to be able to look at operators. We've all seen it at the Six Invitational every year.
Yeah.
The charts that provide the things that they show us, where the win rates are, all that, they provide all this great information. And now in doing so, they've basically limited the information that they have, because now every game Echo gets banned. All right, so
Right.
how are they going to know
That
how to
Echo's
properly implement a
good now.
fix?
Like, fair now. Yeah.
Like, if he's being banned every match, it's clearly not because he's good and fair now. It's because people still see him as overpowered.
Right. Even when that's not true, right? Like,
Even
using
when it's not
Blitz.
true.
Yeah.
Blitz, for example. Blitz
Exactly.
is now basically, I think in most people's opinion and in mine, a well-balanced operator. He can still be irritating as shit,
Yeah.
but he's well-balanced. Slower
Right.
slower ADS time with the shield up, like
Yeah.
the flash cooldown. So they managed to balance him and work him well. But the guy still gets banned, what, 75% of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It does.
Everybody was banning him when he was a literal human tank, and he could charge you and destroy you, and then charge another person, destroy
He was
them.
a fucking spaceship, bro. That's how fast he moved.
Yeah.
Somebody call
Jackal
me?
being the other example.
A literal tank. What's up?
You needed me?
What's up, guys? My name's
Um,
Blitz.
But for real though, it's such an interesting thing, because it actually, like, they finally fixed the guy. Kudos, but you never get to see it because people still zeitgeist ban that motherfucker. They do it out of just in the fucking cloud of doom thought that they have, where it's just like, you still blitz, right? Fucking
Same as Jackal.
you know.
Yeah, same with Jackal. The changes that they made to Jackal made him a lot more balanced. You know, you scan one set of footprints, that set now disappears. You can't scan the same set of footprints 3 times to irritate the guy you're tracking.
Right.
So you have to be smarter with it. But again, it's just something that gets auto banned because people love the roaming too much, and it's too scary for them to deal with. So there are a lot of different directions that they could take.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one, like I said, is take the reins back from the community and stop, bowing down to them like they're the creators and developers of the series.
Right.
You brought up Splinter Cell. I just want to say I miss the days of our co-op Kestrel and Archer game. And this is kind of a question for all of you guys, because Splinter Cell it's not an Xbox exclusive, but it's always been linked to the Microsoft brand.
Right.
So I'm curious, do you think 23rd of July that they will show something?
Ubisoft's never. Oh well, they might tease it. Ubisoft might do an Xbox exclusive, but I don't see them selling the franchise.
They're not going to sell the franchise because they own Tom Clancy pretty much, or the rights to the Tom Clancy games. But what's it called? I could have sworn there was a tweet from Ironside, in the last couple months, saying that he was working on something new for.
But I believe that was shown as an add-on for Breakpoint, because
Breakpoint add-on, the Breakpoint add-on. Michael Ironside did Sam Fisher's voice again.
Yeah,
he voiced it.
Yeah.
So do you guys think it's just dead in the water, or it's not ever going to come back?
I don't think they're going to do another
Splinter Cell. It will come back, but it's not now. Like, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
I hope it does. I
hope so too.
Conviction that kind of that set off a lot of fans because of their whole new. And Alex and I have discussed this.
Actually, I think
in great detail
on this too, like
the marking system that they implemented, right? When they had said, "Oh, we want you to feel like the ultimate predator, like the ultimate killer, like someone who's highly skilled." So they introduced that marking system, right? Each pistol had a set of marks. You could mark 3 targets, say, then stealth take down a target to activate the marks, and then push one button and you execute 3 people, basically.
Yeah.
Which made you feel like the ultimate assassin instead of an OG Splinter Cell where you're lining up a headshot for 10 minutes. And you go to take the shot, the guy happens to sneeze and you miss. Like, you don't feel like the ultimate assassin.
Yeah.
But I think that system that was introduced in Conviction got them a lot of got them to eat a lot of shit.
Now,
Like OG Splinter Cell was so tense, and same with Chaos Theory, and man, so tense.
But it speaks to also. Go ahead. Sorry, Sean.
well, I was just gonna say we might have talked about this on a past podcast episode, or we've had this exact conversation before. But do you think that they're gonna do something if they decide to go back to it? Do you want it to be kind of next gen OG Splinter Cell, or do you want them to follow the same UB route of giant open world map, a million things to do with almost zero interest in doing?
Oh
them?
god,
That's what. That,
I mean, you
well,
set that
okay,
up to
I don't
fail.
want
You
that. I
sound
don't
so
want that, but
loaded.
that's what they're gonna do. That's
With
what they're
nothing
gonna
of
do.
interest. Nothing of interest. Why would anyone choose that based on the way you phrased it?
Yeah. When you play one of them, it's not so bad. When you play like a Far Cry is the only game you play, that's cool. Or if Division is the only game you play, it's cool. But right now, if you own the Division, if you own Ghost Recon,
Big point, yeah.
if you own,
They're all the same.
I'm having a brain fart. Far Cry. If you own Watch
Assassin's
Dogs,
Creed.
if you own Assassin's Creed, other than the skin, they are all insanely, insanely similar.
We just
Alex
lost
just
Alex.
dropped.
Alex.
I'm gonna go to we'll go to a B-Ray back screen while we wait for him to come back.
Cool.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. The whole thing just froze up.
It's all good.
It's like I told Sean that I'm worried about it too. I told Sean and Derek, I was like, I'm considering doing the same thing that they did, which is new computer, because mine's just I'm waiting for it to overheat and just pooch out too.
Let me see if I can get it.
But yes, UB Sandbox, the UB box, we could call them the UB box. They're all the fun. And then they just fill them full of microtransactions.
You know what though? I like Ubi. So
I love Ubisoft, but
hey, you know what else? Sorry, are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
I say, and you know what else though? They realized that they were a bunch of fuck ups that made the same game over and over again too. So we'll see what comes of that. Like, you know. I can't get a good shot. I'm gonna take my camera off, maybe, because I'm a fucking piece of shit.
No.
Because I need a haircut, because I'm Macaulay Culkin with a beard, because...
You had it fine there, the last one, when you put it down on the side there.
It
Can you
fell
do this,
over,
please?
brah. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
right there.
Doesn't matter. I'm not important. I'm just a guy. Oh, which reminds me, can I say this briefly? So I did mention this to you guys already, but I just want to say that I had an awesome stream this morning, and the reason I brought that up right now is because I was like, yo, like I got a couple followers, guy was engaging, he wasn't weird, and I just want to say, like, y'all know how it is, right? Get a follower that talks, and sometimes they're just weird. Like, have you ever got someone that they're just weird, man? Like, my brother would get like a guy, and he'd be like, and this is just about people in general, but he got a guy, and they start talking about like their life at large, and all I can really say is, oh man, that sucks. Oh, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear your family sold your whole house, moved you to Winnebago, drove to Arkansas, and you have no Xbox now. Like, you know, it's like, and you can only say that so many times, but they keep, you know, you're like, how you doing today, bud? And they don't just say, like, I'm good, I'm glad to be here. They're like, oh, well, you know, Timmy Timbuck has a peg leg now.
Timmy
Timbuck! You know, like,
Jesus.
You know, so the thing I want to say is this. So I got a guy talking during Vigor, and he was actually a normal bro. And he'd be like, dude, that aim, though. And I'm like, yeah, I know, trash. Or he'd be like, lol, holy shit, you made me shit my pants. I'm like, dude, I got scared. And then I just realized, like, that's cool. But then I'm like, yo, you have a channel? And he's like, nah, I'm no one. And I'm like,
that was
what
depressing.
Yeah, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, are we really in this space where it's like the streamer is the someone, and if you don't stream on a stream platform, you're nobody. Like, it's not the first time I've heard that. You know, like it's just interesting to me.
I think, I mean, in the vein of streaming, obviously all four of us are nobody, but
Well, that's what I said to him too. I'm like, nobody gives a fuck what I'm doing on this. Yeah. I'm a nobody too. Fuck. Like,
we're just having fun.
But, yeah, that's the thing. That's the whole point of the podcast, right? That's why I decided to bring it up now. Is like, dude, the podcast is here not to be somebody's, but just because we are somebody's who think things about things. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't be, or anybody shouldn't be like, oh fuck, I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts, including about weird Twitch followers, and I don't know. Like, I was once playing Hitman before I even knew Derek. And I was streaming Hitman, and a guy asked me if I watched porn. That's what he asked me on my chat. I'm like, bro, are you 12 and you just figured it out? And you're like, oh my god, do I have other accomplices in evil? I must find out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just people are just weird. But, and then, so it made me think about like Dr. Disrespect, and I was thinking about some stuff like that, and I was thinking about apparently like Alinity, one popular female streamer. She was like, oh, I got death threats because people thought I banned Doc, but I've never met the guy, and now I feel like this is bullshit. And I'm just like, wow, man. People on the internet watching people on the internet is like Matrix level fuck.
It's the meta.
It is.
Derek, did you have anything else to say about Siege?
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Or Splinter Cell?
My bad.
It's all good, bro. Technical difficulties happen. That's why we have a Be Right Back screen.
No, but then I took it off in a fucked up direction too.
It's all good. This podcast has no direction.
Did Derek hear Kyle?
I don't know.
I did. Just you guys didn't hear me. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, now we
Yes.
do. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Whatever just happened with Alex leaving and coming back seems to have. Anyways, no, that was basically the end of it as to Siege. The direction, like just tone it down scale wise from what they're still trying to do now.
I do have a question for you though about that.
What is your question?
How do you feel? How do you feel about people like influencers in their role in terms of the community, like making it worse?
They're just as big a problem as anyone else. I mean, not to be rude to whoever might one day watch this, but people tend to be sheep, right? The one person that has say 1 million viewers says something, the masses are going to agree with them, and that voice, no matter how wrong it could be, is going to help shape and influence the game in possibly negative or positive ways. Generally, it's negative ways because when are you going to voice your positive opinion on something? It's not like, oh, I really love the way the devs did this, I really hope that they continue doing it. It's going to be, oh, fucking devs, why would they put in a character that can do this? They should take it out because I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then out of those 1 million viewers, you'll have 750,000 of them screaming for the same result because, oh, well, if this person thinks it, I'm going to think it, even though I'm not one of those active community members that plays the game on a daily basis or every 2 days. Or, oh, I'm going to agree with this person even though I only have 100 hours in the game. Sorry, but if you only have 100 hours in Siege, your opinion does not matter.
No.
Yeah.
No, it does not. That's not even base. That's not even base requirement to get in the fucking door, bruh.
Yeah. No, like, and same. I'm sitting for what, probably 15, 16, 17, maybe almost 2,000 hours in the game.
Yeah.
I don't think my voice is the opinion that should be all end all. All right. I know I'm still bottom of the barrel in that sense, but I'm sorry, like people 100 hours in the game, you have no right to comment or to bitch or to moan about something because you've barely scratched the surface with what you can see happen in Siege.
Yep.
But yeah, so influencers generally a very negative thing in any game.
In any live format game, right? Since so many of the games are now like live format too.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I may just add to the toxicity of that, of social media as it informs video games, and it's something that Kyle knows now too. It's like Ghost Recon Breakpoint was received like utter shit. I liked it, but I'm in the minority. That's just fact. Now, everyone cried, give me AI companions like Wildlands, give me that, give me that. I was on the Facebook, and for whatever it's worth, like who cares? But they do post like out now AI teammates. The amount of people that are like, holy shit, fuck this AI teammate shit. It's like, how do you not get like, okay, considering that devs are humans too, how do you not just get totally twist fucked by that? Because everyone cried for AI teammates forever, and then you release them and everyone hates AI teammates. This is the worst goddamn thing ever. Like, and then it's just like, so how do you even, if you follow them, if you like kowtow to that shit, you're getting nowhere because there's always a split opinion halfway down the line.
And here's the thing: in Wildlands, they're forced upon you no matter what. In Breakpoint, they're an option. So if you have a problem with it, turn them off.
But here's the thing, though: Breakpoint was designed as a you're behind enemy lines alone design. And yeah, it didn't work out. Sorry, it didn't work out. But why bastardize the vision? That's my issue with like influencers. They can contribute to a bastardization of a vision that people had because it's about selling copies, moving units, whatever.
Yeah,
and like you lose your vision.
It's no longer about the vision of the developers and the team behind it. It's about selling copies, and that's part of the problem with the industry. Anyways.
Yep.
It's on the. I think it's important. Yeah. Well,
what was that, Derek?
Back on. That's a whole other topic. He said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Going back on to the rapid fire question, though, it's like, we can sit here and say what team would we be part of. We need to understand that none of us are video game developers, and I don't think I'd ever be able to be a video game developer. And sometimes some things just cannot make it into games, and sometimes it's better to not do it than, like you were just talking, it's better to not put it in the game than listen to millions of people want this thing, and then everyone complains that it's trash. And then it's like, look at the Apex guys, like, well, you guys asked for this, so we gave it to you.
Yeah. And they actually get in trouble for like slapping fans across the face vocally like that, right? It's like you can't win. That's like modern cultures. You can't win, right? It's like,
I think if you have everyone's
a vision, voice is heard, it means you can't win.
Yeah, I think if you have a vision, you should go for your vision, and that's what you got to go for. And you either know, I mean, deep down in your heart, you should know if your shit is good or not. Is it great?
Right, exactly.
Maybe you can't decide if it's like amazing, but you should know at least that you put your heart and soul into it. It works. It's not broken. And aim for that, you know? And then whatever happens after that, happens after that.
And like, actually, that reminds me of an interesting little segment. When I was pre-Maneater release, the devs talked pretty frankly about it because it's such a weird idea, right? Like a shark RPG. Okay, but they were sitting there and they're like, well, we were running earlier builds and we said, like, this combat kind of sucks. They said that to themselves, like, our combat's kind of shit. So it's like Sean is like saying how it's like, okay, you're not sure if it's good or not, but like, how can you make it good? So instead of scrapping it all or canceling the game, they're like, okay. Then we started to think like, how can we make it better? Because we were honest that it was garbage. So then we started building on this and doing that. So you can actually achieve something if you keep to an overall vision and realize that some parts of it suck ass, right? Yeah, and you're not trying to just like, if I'm as a DM right now for this portion of our campaign, if I'm out there trying to please you guys, so how was that? So how was that? So how was that? Oh, should I do this? Should I have more villains? Like, no, it's not gonna be the vision that I hope is going to bring. Like, the vision should stand of itself to carry itself forward in a way that people will appreciate, right? Period. Right. Mm-hmm. And it can't be formed. Not that I can't take opinions as a DM or as a game developer or whatever, but there's a certain line where it's like, okay, you have a vision, but it's not this one. So, maybe next time.
If before we go to the next rapid fire question, what about you, Alex?
Oh yeah, I've been tossing this around in my head for a while. So the question being, if I could be the project lead of any game, what would it be? I just want to spit two quick ones, and then I'm going to settle on a final one, because these are really important to me. So there's a game called Face of Mankind. Nobody here has played it. It's a now defunct MMO. Well, if you've played it, let me know. But it's a now defunct MMO by an old company that doesn't exist. But what it was a third-person shooter, except that it was a game where the politics were all player-run. So there was 8 factions or so. There was cops. There was like protesty hippies. There was like drug dealing guys, and you just made a character of one of those factions, and you just exist in the world. And you'd have to contact the guy who leads or sub-leads groups, like cells of terrorists or whatever, and then get some things to do. There was no quest in the game. It was just make money, have influence, affect people, shoot them in the head, rob their shit, like whatever you wanted to do. You end up on the most wanted list, and the cop guys would come kill you. It was all player run, everything. So the one thing I wanted to mention was the downfall of that game, of an all player run politics shooter, was when the cops decided, the army decided to have a coup against the police. And everyone was voting for this military president. Let him be president of the Dominion. And it was so cool because the players decided this. The developers came in and they said nope, and they just shut down the server to the military base and said nope, the military won't be in conflict with the police. They're not. That's not the storyline. And I'm like, bro, we are the storyline, man. Like, that was the vision, was like, let us do it. If that means a military coup d'etat deletes the police, do it. So I just think that's like they lost their vision because they stuck to a different vision, right? It's kind of it's a weird thing, but they lost the vision of player freedom, player choice, and then I think they lost everything at that point, and it soon crumbled down after. That was long. Oh, we lost Derek.
We have indeed lost Derek.
Yeah.
We'll give it a second. I'm assuming he was just turning it off and turning it back on because his
because it was kind of jacked up a little bit since I came back.
It seemed like it just jammed, dude.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the long and short of that is, what was that, John?
I said, oh, look, I'm on 2 cameras.
The long and short of that is just like, it's a cautionary tale about like the promises you make and what you deliver, right? Like, if you promise full player political freedom, don't take it away when something bad, something you don't like happens, you know? So, that I would have done differently. I would have let that war happen if I ran that game. Just let it happen. It's fucking like legendary. It was legendary type shit. And you just kibosh it all. Hey, Derek.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Discord just crashed.
Okay, you may want to cam up, I think, because I don't think you're cammed up right now.
I have his logo for now.
It doesn't, not a big of a deal, obviously. And then the other thing I want to say is just quickly Madden franchise, and the reason being is I would try as hard as I possibly could to make it focus on franchise mode. And I know the presidents and all the guys, stakeholders would be like, no, it's all about Ultimate Team because microtransactions. But seriously, I've seen them do beautiful franchise modes in that game, career modes in that game, and they have gotten so far away from that because of Ultimate Team, and it's sad. And I don't know that I could change that, but I sure as fuck want to try. And then lastly, sorry.
If you were to change it, EA would fire you in no time because
they would. Yeah, exactly.
Because
so
they want
you project lead. Yeah.
They don't want you to make a 10-on-10 game. They want you to make something that's lucrative. Exactly.
They want me to make a 7-on-10 game that produces bank hardcore, which it does.
So yeah. So if you can find a way to produce more bank, I mean, if you do in a good franchise mode,
microtransactions of franchise
more
mode.
money. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But the ultimate one I want to settle on, and I'm sorry I have 3. The ultimate one I want to settle on though is Dawn of War, and there's a reason. Dawn of War was a Warhammer 40,000 RTS game. When it first came out, it was masses of dudes dying in droves. That's what the point of it was, because that's what 40K was. As they iterated on it, Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War 3, it got more and more small scale. So it became one squad versus one squad. And they wanted to make a company of heroes, but 40K. And I just think it's like, again, the vision was a meat grinder, like literally dead people all over the place, and then you turn it into a 12-on-12. And then you turn it into a PvE mode on the side where everyone picked a hero and fought mobs. Like, why are you trying to be Dota in addition? Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, this was such a good game, and you've changed the soul of it. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a Blood Bowl game that's literally Blood Bowl in real time. It's a sub game. Like, you can go buy it on Steam. It's Blood Bowl in real time. Clickety-click, StarCraft Blood Bowl. I'm like, the fuck is this? Like, no.
That's weird.
Yeah, anyway.
That's really weird.
Yeah. So I would just stick to the vision. Like, massive armies, dudes dying, huge explosions everywhere, not tiny squad skirmishes. Anyway, that's it.
The thing is, though, like, right, it's like kind of the same problem that we have with Halo is that a lot of games, they're trying to be the next successful game. Like, ooh,
right.
Destiny's a shared world shooter. Destiny created a shared world shooters. We all need to become shared world shooters because we see how lucrative that can be.
Yeah, because everyone's dropping 80 on the next shared world, right?
Yeah, and consistently dropping money on it throughout
the life cycle, yeah.
And then the same thing goes like, oh, well, Halo can't be Halo anymore because Halo's outdated. We got to make it more like Call of Duty, which makes releases every year and sells quadrillions,
yeah.
billions. All right, next rapid fire question.
Next rapid fire, okay, my PC's dead, but I kind of remember a few, so it's not going to be random this time. And that would be, let me think through my brain quickly. Does anyone else have one before I pull one? Just no one prepared for it, but I just thought I'd check first. Because if not, this is mine. You have one day to live, and you must spend 12 hours of one day playing a game. 12 hours of your last day on Earth playing a game. What game is that? Your last day alive. What game is it? Could be a game you haven't played yet, even. Could be like, I don't know. Just throw something out there. Let's start with Derek, if he's willing. Derek, you have 1 day to live, but you must play one video game for 12 hours. Your video game of choice is?
My video, 12 hours?
12, so half of 24 hours in your last day to live. Half your last day on Earth. Last living day.
I'm gonna have to pick Siege on that one, my friends.
Okay.
I mean, what story am I gonna get through in 12 hours realistically here? Well, like I was saying, Mass Effect, this, that. I'm not gonna get through any of these stories, so I'm gonna die unsatisfied. The last thoughts I'm gonna be having are, I didn't get to finish the fucking story. Why did I do this to myself?
Does Morden die?
So you know what? I'm gonna have to pick something that I'm decently good at, that I can still get enjoyment out of. So it's Siege.
But what if you died angry? He's fucking much a keyboard.
I'm gonna die angry either way.
Fair enough. I do have a secondary wrinkle to this after, but let's go with the first part of it. Kyle, if you have 1 day to live, 12 hours of which must be spent in video game, what is it?
It's either Saints Row 2 or 3. I'm gonna say 2.
Any reason, or are you just gonna leave it as is?
Well, it's the same reason that Derek said as far as Mass Effect, because I'd pick Mass Effect probably 2 or 3 otherwise, but the story I wouldn't be able to get through in 12 hours, especially not the way I play Mass Effect. I go like full on, like deep into it. But I know that in either Saints Row 2 or 3, like I said, we'll just say 2, I can just have fun and do just the shit, absolute, just be a nonsense person, and still you could get through most of that game in 12 hours if you really wanted to. Just get enough respect to do the main missions, but you could even just spend time just fucking up in the sandbox. That's it.
Right.
So yeah.
Interesting. Sean?
It's a hard one for me. If I was completely by myself and I had no choice but to be myself, I'm sure I'd find any solo game to play. I think I'd probably choose Siege as well, or any fun multiplayer game, but with the caveat that I would want like a full squad of my friends in there.
Oh yeah, that's the last.
Yeah, that's an acceptable caveat. Yeah, like, I mean, your last day alive, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna go. Like, if it's my last day alive and all you guys are at work and I have to play for 12 hours by myself solo, I wouldn't solo Siege. No, I'd play something else that made me happier, or I'd spend time doing something else entirely.
But that's not an option.
That's not the option.
I know, but so I would definitely play a game then, but not Siege solo if I was solo. But if I had a full squad of buds, I'd probably go with like Siege or something we could have fun on.
Yeah, let's just assume that you get everything you want, right? It's your last 12 hours. Yeah. You're gonna die in a day. You call up your friends. Yeah. You call your friends and you say, "Hey, Derek, I'm dying in 24 hours. I have to spend 12 hours gaming. Are you in for Siege?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll call in sick to work. Like I'll be there, unless I've already died first and I already did my 12 hours of Siege."
I don't know, boys. Oh fuck! What happens if we died all 12 hours separately from each other? That'd be like 48 hours straight of Siege, bro.
Holy shit.
Well, 24 hours.
They actually all died because of that commitment level. The guys at the end, they've died because they drank like 8 monsters and died.
No. It would be more like somewhere along the line, anger would cause a stroke or heart attack.
Yeah,
rather than that, whatever you were supposed to die from in 24 hours.
Totally, yeah. For me, I guess, it's hard. It actually is really hard for me too. Siege is a good one. But this is gonna be ridiculous, but I was gonna say I'd pick Madden and try to get as far into my franchise mode as possible to see the future of sports before I died. So be, so that's what happens. He becomes a Dallas Cowboy.
That'd be the worst.
Something like that. But the problem with that theory is a game is like anywhere from like 20 to 45 minutes. So we're talking like I'm only getting 10 games in a season done
You're not
I'm dead. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna stick with that one and figure out that there's some way I could get what I want to get in. Maybe I'll sim some of the games,
Super sim.
whatever. Yeah, I'll super sim some of those games legally, I might add. It's like, or how about no, it'd be Madden. It'd be Madden just so
Would
I
it
could take
really?
to the grave some bully. Yeah.
But you
so
spend the last 12 hours of your time simming games?
Not
and staring
simming
at the
them.
sim screen?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I wouldn't only sim them. That's the thing. I'm struggling with this one a bit because my other thing was like, I'd want to do something that it would sort of like matter to me in a way. Like Siege, it's like, oh, what did we go on my last day of life? We went 10-23. How do I feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's like,
but then there's the other.
But the idea was that it's the multiplayer game. You're with your buddies in those last 12 hours, right? Like that is part of the reason I picked Siege too. It
doesn't have to be. Like, it was never caveat of multiplayer though. It's just whatever you want.
I know, but that's why I picked Siege because I'm with my buddies generally when I play Siege, right? So that was
the lateral to that for me would be
nice football ref.
We're gonna go the lateral to that is gonna be we get the Minecraft server working. Play Minecraft for 12 hours straight. We go on the deepest of adventures and we build a giant unique structure. Something
bro, we could build
I'll leave my mark on the world,
build my tombstone, but make it creative. Like 800 feet tall.
Out of gold blocks.
You like that game. But you like that game. Why do you say that? I know you don't love the game, but you enjoy the game. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would not play Minecraft for 12 hours.
Yeah, I'm on my deathbed, so.
But man, imagine we'd have to we'd get to go fight the Ender Dragon. We could go.
Well, we already have a portal to the Ender Dragon.
Yeah,
all we have to do is kill the Ender Dragon.
the
Ender portal is ready. Yeah. That's why I was saying that. But then you could go fight some withers and just take it to the next level, man.
How about when the server gets active, you finish up your dirt hut, huh?
My dirt hut is still sitting there.
And all you do, and then Shane doesn't fund the server after I die, so everything was pointless.
It still exists. It would still be there in a data file on a server.
No matter what I do, here's my issue. No matter what I do, I want the whole thing clipped from start to finish, but clipped in between, so there's a legacy of whatever it was. Whether it's me getting fucked in Siege for 12 hours, or me in Minecraft for 12 hours, or me playing Vigor for 12 hours, or me in Madden for 12 hours. Like, there's no way the Steelers would do this. I just want it all recorded. That's my only request.
Just set up a video camera behind you.
Yeah, basically. I just want to do that. That's my only thing. Whatever game plus recording the whole time. That's it, I guess. Yeah, but the Madden thing's troublesome. Okay, here was the other caveat, and this could be really quick. But the add-in to all this was, if, on the other hand, you had to play a game extremely well for whatever that game is known to be, it could be completionism, could be whatever, in order to save your life, what game would it be? And you had 12 hours to do it. Or like X time to do it, whatever. It can't be like years. It can't be years. You have to play it well, and they check in on you like every so often to see if you're playing it well. And you can't have an off day because they'll kill you. Like, it could be like, I will fully complete Sekiro 100% before, and then I won't die. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to be able to do it.
Then I'm gonna definitely go with. I'm gonna go with.
Still, right? That's just.
Yeah, because he frags out of his mind.
Either Siege or State.
Okay.
Finish a map in 12 hours, completely doable.
Yeah, definitely.
Guaranteed lifesaver right there.
Okay, how about this? Could you finish a map? Sorry, just to tie this in. Could you finish a map every 12 hours? Because that's the check-in point. And endlessly finish maps for 12 hours to live continuously, and then you get the other 12 hours of the day to do whatever the fuck you want. But as long as you finish one map every 12 hours when they come to check on you, you will not be murdered.
Yeah, you could finish that map. You could probably finish a map in like 6 hours, and you'd have 6 hours of downtime.
You could probably finish a map in like 3 hours.
Probably, yeah.
You have the right lockers.
I would say probably Mass Effect 3.
If you had to play it well, so completionism and okay, and like you never dying once.
Yeah,
I could do that. Like whatever phrasing you like. Mass Effect 3 is the game you would use to keep yourself alive. That's fucking interesting. I feel like you're happy to die in your N7 hoodie, anyways.
Yeah, well that and like I've 100% completed those games anyway. So like. And I know I could do it in 24 hours if I really put some effort into it. Just
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sean, you got anything?
Probably Dark Souls.
Sorry, my phone is on its last leg.
You're gonna get the
Sean,
the BKH.
Your answer on that?
Probably Dark Souls.
He's got to run like me, get that Black Knight halberd.
Probably Dark Souls, Alex.
Dark Souls 1?
I didn't choose one specifically, but I was able to do a speed run of 3 hours on Dark Souls 1. So if I can do that in 12 hours, well, that leaves me a lot of free time.
Save your life. That's ballsy, but I like
that is ballsy, yeah.
That's ballsy, yeah.
And every time I'll take a new game plus as well.
Right. So every time you do it, you're on the next new game plus, and if you could do it again, then you live.
And it's hard
to
reach
time. But video games.
That's right. I'm a bit of a sadist. What can I say?
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna just go with Blood Bowl because, let's say I have to win a championship every time, then I'll definitely die because I've only won one. But I think I would just like to, if fate's killing me like this, may as well roll the dice. May as well keep rolling them. Fuck it. I'll just keep rolling them.
That's a ballsy way of looking at it.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. I would take the most OP team. I would take high elf, and I would take high elf, and just to keep me alive, I would drink the tears of my opponents continuously.
But what if, like, during this 12 hours, would they count draws as a loss then?
Well, let's just say you have to win every regular season. So standard 9 games.
As long as you're that number one at the end of the season? Okay.
Or like in the playoffs or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just saying I would probably just pick Blood Bowl because I'm not a good reflex guy. I have really bad days, really off days. I'm just going to roll fucking dice and try to use my strategic mind to try to win. But in the end, the double skulls will kill me. And it's only fitting because I'll die in real life too. That's my answer. Blood Bowl.
Good answer.
All right, that's it. That's it for quick cues.
We're gonna wrap it up here for today. So at the top left of your screens, we've got TSG Big Time. Sean, you want to sign yourself off?
TSG Big Time. That's twitch.tv/TSG_Big Time or at Big Time TSG on Twitter. See you guys next Friday or this Sunday. This Sunday, we're going to have our session 2 of our D&D stream, which was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get into that.
Features all the beauty you see before you, plus extra.
Much extra.
Plus extra beauty.
Yeah, extra beauty. And extra beauty plus 2.
That's it for me.
At the top right of your screen, we have Axel Haxon. You want to...
Hey, what's up? So I'm Axel Haxon. I stream, I tweet, I Facebook stuff, and my name's Alex. And no, I don't have autism. People ask me that all the time because I move weird. Go read a book. It's cerebral palsy. Literally, I have that comment like all the time. It's like, do you have autism, bro? I'm like, no, I don't. So no, I don't have autism. Come watch me play some games. Good, the bad, the ugly, it's all there for you.
But does your penis work?
I get that too. The answer is sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. Oh, and last thing, come watch me play some Rocket Arena because you don't know what it is, but it's kind of cool. That's it. That's to the masses at large.
Bottom right of the screen. Wow, the screen. We have LU Radiod.
Yeah, I think it's Radiod. Yeah.
LU Radio DJ. Kyle, you want to take it away for yourself?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So LU Radio DJ is on the Twitch. What are you laughing at?
No, I'm laughing at that intro. It's godly.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so yeah, LU Radio DJ on Twitch, LU Radio DJ _42 on Twitter, and LU Radio DJ with an S for some reason on YouTube is the end tag to the channel, and that's where I'll have like any leftover like uploaded VODs from Twitch and stuff.
I would have just left that out.
Like LU Radio DJF, like LU Radio DJs.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened when I did that. Anyways, it just added an S.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put on my stream. I wanna stream in front of people.
I don't know why I did that.
Lura, did you?
I love how you squinted. Can I just say I love how you squinted? Like, sold it. Fully sold it. I love it, Derek. All right. I'm talking way too much.
It's commitment. And then finally, bottom left of the screen, you have myself, TSG Elusive Man. You can catch me on Twitch at TSG Elusive Man. You can catch me on Twitter at TSG Elusive Man. You can catch me on YouTube at TSG Elusive Man. Yeah, that's right. Uniformity, bitches.
There's no S
in my bug net as TSG Elusive Man.
If you have a bug net big enough to catch me, yes. Yeah, you can catch me at all those places. That's about it. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you're there. If not, that's okay too. You can catch us every Friday. We try to get on by 8. We're getting better. I just want to point that out. We are getting better. We started at 8:15 today. Congratulations, us.
This is not a triple sow tab. This is an 8.
I'm also happy. I'm also happy that the Discord boxes that I saved, once you guys all got into the chat, were exactly where they need to be, which is what I was worried about. So I'm hoping for the D&D stream, I have the same good luck going on.
In case you viewers don't know, instead of prawn, Sean's version is technical success with machines these days.
Yes. It gives him quite the honneur. And as Sean said, you can catch us Sundays for D&D sessions.
Yes, sir.
What time do we do those? 8, right? 8 o'clock?
8
o'clock as well.
Eastern Standard.
8 p.m. is a general theme here. And then you can catch all of us streaming separately or together on Twitch at various times a day. So thanks again, and bye.
Bye.
Signing you guys out, going to the end.